What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your hosts, myself, Alex Fishbein, and I got Dennis Big Sexy Clausen. What's going on, Dennis?
What up? Can you believe it's only Tuesday? I fucking hate Tuesday.
I know. I can't.
Tuesday's the worst. Can somebody eliminate Tuesdays?
I just need it to be
Sucks.
Thursday night, you get like the excitement because the next day is Friday. You could also, if you really want to, you could go out to like a little happy hour, go out to dinner or something Thursday, you know what I mean? Or just stay up late, watch basketball Thursday and not have to pay for it too much because it's just Friday, you know?
Yeah. This is the time of year though that sucks because you get like one NBA game a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not a baseball guy. I know you're not like a big baseball guy. So really, it's slim pickings until NFL training camp starts. I missed the old schedule with the NBA to where like when the COVID schedule where like they started in December and went to July. Now that was a great schedule.
I know. Having basketball all the way to July was amazing. Now it's just, like you said, the one game a day. And then the next time we get basketball, like all in a bunch, is Summer League.
Which is fantastic. Like you and
Agreed.
I like Summer League. And Summer League kind of gives you that shot in the arm because Summer League has become like a huge thing.
I know.
Summer
League has been fun.
It's very exciting. You get to see a lot of the newer players. You get to see guys that you don't see until like for example, Dalen Terry. You might not see him until Mark Saminovich, like guys like that, like who were playing a lot in the summer league last summer. They don't do anything during the regular season, and now they're becoming like studs again in the summer league. So it's cool you get guys who they're like, damn, that guy's good. You'll see Scottie Pippen Jr. and just all these guys. It's just so fun. And then you'll see rookies play, and you might even see, who knows if Chet Holmgren will play in the summer league this year, to try to get back. So it's very exciting.
And it's like this summer league, I think, is going to be even crazier. Huge. Because you're going to have the Wembanyama, you're going to have Scoot Henderson and a bunch of those guys coming in. Like, that's going to be crazy because everyone has been wanting to see Wembanyama.
Do you think he's going to play? I don't really. I think they're going to, like, take it easy. Whoever gets him is going to be, like...
True.
It's like a new, Christmas present. It's like when you get your new Air Jordans, you don't want to, like, wear them outside. You're only going to wear them on special occasions.
Right. You don't want to crease them too much.
Right. I don't know. I just get this weird thing about him. Like, he's 7'5", and the draft lotto's tonight. It's actually going to be here in a little bit, so we'll probably announce on live here on the Atlantic Files.
True.
Who's going to have the number one. So basically, who's going to give Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah.
But everybody's hyping him up. They're making a huge deal about him. He's better than LeBron was, blah, blah, blah. I got a bad feeling about any guy who's that big and that skinny. And I was ranting and raving about this last year about Chet. And look what happened to Chet. He didn't even make it to the regular season.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see Chet. And I agree that I feel whoever it is should take it lightly with him in Summer League. Like, if you do play him, like maybe play him a quarter, play him a half, whatever, but at least get him to the regular season. If he gets hurt during the regular season, that's one thing. But getting hurt in a game that largely means nothing is another topic entirely. And Muhammad is here. What's going
Well,
on,
what are we
Muhammad?
going to ask? Hey, Muhammad, what are we going to ask him? How does Muhammad, are you in the United States?
Yes, we're gonna ask because if you are not in the United States, Muhammad, how do you watch NBA games? Do you watch them on like cable TV, or do you have like NBA League Pass? Like, what do you watch it on? Just we need to know.
Let us know. Thank you.
Um, but yeah, Woj legitimately said that Wembanyama is like the biggest prospect in all of team sports.
I mean, everybody's saying that. Can we? I just wish they would just tone it down with this guy. They were like, he's the biggest since LeBron, and you know what's crazy to me is like when Luka was going to get drafted, he didn't even get first overall pick, which is
That's
crazy. It's crazy to me. And the guy who was drafted first overall is probably not going to be on the team that he was drafted on.
Was Ayton the first pick?
Ayton.
Oh God.
That draft was stacked, so now we're looking at a guy who's probably not going to be in Phoenix next year. I have some predictions. I have some theories. I was gonna like unveil a segment, big sexy's off season picks, off season predictions, because I got a bunch of stuff just floating around in my brain. This is a nasty time of year, though. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people getting their throats cut right now. Coaches are getting thrown out the door, and it is disgusting how I kind of like it in a way, though. Like, guys are getting fired. Guys are going to get traded. Like, it's nasty right now, and it's great.
It's great. Like, all of the tenured and pretty good coaches that are looking for a job now are crazy. There's a lot of guys out there.
Well, nobody's job is safe, and it all started last year with Ime.
Yep.
Look at what he did. And now Bud was gone. We talked about that. Since last week's episode, Monty Williams gets fired, which was probably one of the most shocking coaching firings probably in recent memory. There's a lot of... And I'll let you touch on the latest one. So, floor is yours, pal.
Yeah, so... Doc Rivers. He is officially gone. And on this podcast, I talked about Doc Rivers shouldn't be in Philadelphia after last season. And actually, even like halfway through last season. He's finally gone after they lose in the second round yet again. But not just losing in the second round, losing with a 3-2 lead, which Doc Rivers is the king of giving up playoff leads, losing with leads, and losing series-clinching games. Real quick, Muhammad said he watches it on cable. Muhammad, what channel do you watch it on, though? Like, what channel? Is there an, like, ESPN over there?
And where's over there?
Yeah, and where do you, like, what country do you live in?
Well,
you have to, like,
Nebraska.
get specific.
I live in Nebraska. He's not going to live in Iowa.
He's like, what do you,
I like how we're just stereotyping him because of his name.
I know.
We don't.
But I did say to let us know if he lived in the United States, and he did not say he lived in the United States.
He doesn't want to reveal his location.
True. But yeah, so this is what kills me. Game 6. The game to put away Boston. You're at home. You just had probably the best single playoff game in the Joel Embiid era in Game 5. Game 5 was by far the best played game from the Sixers against the best competition in the highest pressure situation of the entire Joel Embiid tenure in Philadelphia. And they follow it up with, I mean, first off, their offense looked absolutely putrid in Game 6. But fourth quarter comes around, they have a lead. You currently have Jayson Tatum shooting 1 for 14. But they can't score, and they score less points than Jayson Tatum by himself in the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter and lose at home. And then, after all that, after really choking hard there, it's like, all right, there's one more game. They have a chance. They've won twice in Boston. One in very convincing fashion, one in a fashion that they just sneaked one away in game one. So there is a chance. But they come in, Joel Embiid puts up his worst game of his playoff career. James Harden scores 9 points, shoots 3 of 14 or 3 of 11 or whatever the hell it was.
And don't let me forget about that.
Okay. Doc Rivers makes 0 adjustments, as usual. Now in Game 6, mind you, Joe Mazzulla made the adjustment to put Robert Williams in the starting 5 to play defense against Joel Embiid, and it worked. The offense looked terrible. Joel Embiid looked terrible. They asked him what happened at the end of Game 6, and he just says, "Oh, well, I didn't get the ball." You're the fucking MVP. Go ask for the ball. How do you say, "Oh, I just didn't get the ball"? You just won MVP and you've led the league in scoring 2 years in a row, but you can't go up to anybody on the team and say, "Hey, get me the fucking ball." But anyway, that's another story. So, Joe Mazzulla makes that adjustment. Okay, it works. Going into Game 7, usually what happens is this coach makes an adjustment, that adjustment plays out. If it works, the opposing coach makes their counter adjustment. What does Doc Rivers do? Absolutely fucking nothing. Same starting lineup, same rotations. He finally starts throwing random people in when they're down by 30. And it amounts to getting blown out, embarrassed, and sent home in the same exact round they've been sent home in for the last 3 out of 4 seasons. I'm going to go off on a bigger rant when we start to talk about Embiid and Harden and the team. But I am just... I don't ever want to wish somebody to lose their job. But Doc Rivers has made plenty of money for me to be like, I'm glad he's gone. He'll be okay. He'll find another job if he wants to still coach. My suggestion is he should just retire. Go play golf. You have a bunch of money already. You have a son-in-law in Seth Curry who makes a bunch of money. You have a son in the NBA who makes a bunch of money. Like, you'll be good.
I mean, Steph Curry's kind of related to him. Is that weird?
Kind of, yeah.
So you can go hang out with him. He can watch all the transsexual porn he wants.
Exactly. He can like any type of explicit tweets he wants now because he doesn't have a job. And now it turns into who are they going to hire for coach? And I swear to God, I hope it's not Mike D'Antoni.
Listen, when you bring in Daniel House, that shows that you're not really thinking with your brain. You're thinking about who you like.
Right.
And I have this weird feeling that and Morey is gonna be so desperate to keep James Harden from leaving that bringing D'Antoni in might be the best way in order to keep him in Philadelphia.
That's what my fear is.
So here's the thing. I wanted to give you space. I wanted to let you,
I mean, I still have a lot of thoughts, but like I said, a lot of them are also... At this point, I've talked a bunch of shit on Doc Rivers. I've already said he should be fired a long time ago. So when the Doc Rivers firing news came about, I was just like, yeah, makes sense. Finally, it should have happened a while ago.
I honestly think the Dak should have been fired in the middle of the season. To be honest with you,
I mean, they started terribly this year. I was surprised they kept him around after the terrible start.
Like I think he should have been fired during the season, but honestly, I just think the Celtics should have had this series won a lot sooner than they did. The 76ers were looking good coming into the season, but then once you actually saw everything on the floor and everything, I just don't think it worked out. I think the Celtics, specifically Jayson Tatum, who shot like garbage with the exception of Game 7, played horribly throughout that entire series.
He really was bad almost the whole
He was
series.
awful. At least offensively he was. He can contribute in other areas.
Right.
I just think that the Celtics were messing around too much. They could have had that series won. The 76ers desperately, though, need to figure out the plan forward. I mean, we got rid of Doc now. Okay, great. There's a lot of other issues now on that roster that need to be addressed. The cap is basically, they're strapped for cash. They don't have any cash. Their next season is kind of going to be contingent on whether they can keep James Harden on the roster or not. Because as much as people, James Harden's lost a step, he's still a guy who's capable of doing good things. Right. Not as much as he used to. But he needs to be on that roster, because if he's not on that roster, they're going to be in bigger trouble than they are now. They got to figure out what they got to do with Tobias Harris, because Tobias Harris has to go.
Yep.
They need to figure out what they're going to do with Tyrese Maxey, because I've never been high on him. I know you have, but I think he's very overrated. I don't think he's a good player, but is he like a guy that you could consider as a part of like a big three? Absolutely not. So I think now is the time where Maxey has most value, to where you could go out and make a move. But the problem is that he doesn't even make a lot of money right now. So it's going to be hard to like move him and take on a huge contract. So the only way that you're...
Sorry, go ahead.
The only way you're going to do that is if you package him up with like Tobias Harris.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
But they don't have draft picks. Their draft picks aren't is what they were after making the deal with Brooklyn. So that's going to take some going to have to be a lot of things going on in order for this to work. I was seeing like Gabe Vincent was a name who's going to like draw a lot of interest this offseason. I think a guy like that would, like, adding guys like that aren't going to cost you a ton of money, even though he's still going to command a pretty good amount because he's a relatively good player. I mean, shit, at this point, though, I wouldn't even be opposed to them going to Phoenix and trying to get Chris Paul at this point.
Especially if James Harden's not going to be there.
Well, if you're going to have James Harden there, like if you can get James Harden to sign the player option,
right,
and the only way you can get rid of Tobias Harris is by taking on Chris Paul, I certainly would rather have Chris Paul than Tobias Harris.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that for sure.
So they got to figure out what they're going to do with DeAnthony Melton. Is DeAnthony Melton going to be on that roster? PJ Tucker, I mean, you got to keep him.
Yeah. I mean, he signed for another 2 years anyway, so.
I mean, but there's a lot of teams who would love to have him and would trade for him.
For sure.
But I don't think he doesn't really make that much money, and he's a guy that adds a lot of value.
Definitely.
So the next move that they need to make is desperately they got to get rid of Tobias Harris.
Yes, that's move number one. That has to be move number one. Is get him.
But I think move number one should be Harden.
Well, I mean, like if you're moving someone off of the team,
right?
He's the first one that they got to get out of there. Muhammad seems to predict Mike Budenholzer going to the Sixers.
I honestly I don't mind that.
Yeah, I don't either. When I looked at the list, there was a list. It was like Budenholzer, Nurse, Sam Cassell, who's the current assistant.
I give it to Sam Cassell.
That's what I keep saying. I'm like, I would love to see Sam Cassell get a chance, especially because a lot of the players talk about how much they love him. So if all these guys love him, why not give him a chance already?
Unless you're going to get Monty. If you're going to get Monty, fine.
That's true.
But if you don't get Monty Williams and then your options are Nick Nurse, Budenholzer, then you got to go with Sam Cassell.
Right. And it's like, before Mike D'Antoni, I would rather go with like Becky Hammon or Dawn Staley. I would take them light years before I take Mike D'Antoni.
I mean, Mike D'Antoni, how old is he? He's in his 70s now.
Yeah, I think he's around that. Let's see, he is 72.
Yeah, I mean, can we get a young coach and just rebuild? Is the process over?
I mean, to be honest, I always thought the process started to slowly die the moment Sam Hinkie was forced out. Because it was his plan to begin with, but all the people after him started trying to make all these moves with all the draft picks they accrued and all the players they might have drafted due to it. But the moment you start, you look back, Ben Simmons isn't even on the team anymore. Okafor didn't turn out. Nerlens Noel didn't turn out. Michael Carter-Williams didn't turn out. Jeremy Grant was actually a very good value pick in the second round, but not on the team anymore. Robert Covington was a great pickup back then, not on the team anymore. TJ McConnell, gone. Saric, gone. And you brought in guys.
Markelle Fultz is looking pretty good when he can stay healthy in Orlando.
Markelle Fultz has been steadily improving. That's for sure. You traded away Mikal Bridges for Zaire Smith. Obviously, we know how that turned out.
That was a good deal.
And part of that deal, I believe, is what they got Matisse with. Matisse isn't on the team anymore.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Something just popped into my brain, so you got to excuse me for this one.
It's all good.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah. I'm tired of getting players that are fucking losers.
I know, but if you could get rid of Tobias Harris.
I mean, that's true.
If you could get rid of Tobias and Maxey, because the Wizards would take that in 3 seconds if they could get their hands on Maxey.
That's true.
You could tell they're not really interested anymore in Bradley Beal. They just signed him just because I don't think they really wanted to sign him, but I mean, you could sign him. He got his money. He got what he wanted. He got his bird rights, so he could make more money in Washington, which was the goal.
That's true.
So, I mean, at this point, if you're going to get off of Tobias, who knows if you're going to even be able to want to afford to keep Tyrese Maxey? He's got 1 year left.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as stupid as this sounds, I really think if Bradley Beal might help Philly tremendously. I mean, forgive me for that, and I hope I hope I'm not wishing this into fruition, but something just hit me where I was like, oh my god, that could have happened.
I mean, the possibility is definitely there, especially with how the Sixers are built. like I said, the only star player that the Sixers have had since Allen Iverson that have had any sort of like grit, heart, and like just weren't a fucking loser is Jimmy Butler. Like, that's it. Everyone else has just been a loser. And it's just like, I've defended Joel Embiid through everything, but this postseason made me look at Embiid a different way because it was just like the shit that he said in the postgame, even though some of his quotes got, cut down and people were misquoting him.
It's fake news.
It is.
Same thing that happened to Trump. He never said all that stuff. They just misquoted him.
Yeah, they cut everything out of his whole saying and then just give you one sentence.
Right.
But even with that, there was just a lot of shit.
Joke, by the way.
Yeah, no. A lot of shit that he did in this series and that he said. It's like you're either hurt and you're just not going to play, but if you start to play and you like start to say stuff like, "Oh, I didn't get the ball in the last couple minutes," then you got to play well. Like there's really no in between. And it's the thing that it's just like his quote where he just says, like the one that is getting taken out of context when he said that like everyone needs to get better. He did start off by saying he needs to get better. He has things he knows he needs to work on. He talked about James Harden getting better. But in my opinion, he should have just shut the fuck up after that. Don't even talk about the rest of the team because in Game 7, the two biggest issues were him and James Harden.
Yeah, but you can't hold it against him for adding on to a statement he made and then faulting him for the media blowing it out of proportion.
No, it's definitely
the guy's not even English is not even his first language. I'm not making a joke about that. Well, I mean I kind of am, but it's not even his first language.
Right. No, I agree. Like, I'm saying media definitely blew that way out of proportion because they act like he didn't talk about himself needing to improve. I'm just saying, after the Game 7 he put up, he should have just not talked about anybody else except him and maybe James Harden if they ask him about James Harden. Because in that game, Embiid not only played terribly offensively, but Jayson Tatum was scoring anything he fucking wanted to over Joel Embiid. And the big thing Embiid himself would always talk about is how he's a defensive player rather than Jokic. In the whole MVP debate, Joel Embiid talked about it himself, that he was this big defensive player. He's a much better defensive player than Jokic, and he's an elite rim protector, so on and so forth. But he got completely cooked by Jayson Tatum. And then on top of that, in Game 6, Doris Burke even pointed it out when Tatum made a couple shots in that fourth quarter, and there was still like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. They were down like 6. And Joel Embiid and James Harden are walking around acting like the game's over. They just quit. And like there was like a loose ball, and Joel Embiid just kind of looking at it. And James Harden doesn't go for it. And the Celtics hustle for the ball. They get it. They get an inbound. They make another shot. And it's like, he talks about wanting to win all the time. He talks about wanting to do this, wanting to do that. But then you don't even put in the effort for that kind of play at home in a Game 6 that could have ended the whole fucking series.
I mean, maybe he was tired.
I'm sure he was. He's always tired.
I mean, he in his defense, though, he pretty much does a lot.
Oh, he does. Team. Don't get me wrong. He does a whole lot. But I will say, Maxey pulled his weight in games 1, 5, 6, and I mean 7. Just everybody sucked, but he did score more than Harden and Embiid. PJ Tucker in Game 7 was the leading scorer for a while. PJ Tucker did everything you could ask of him. Exactly. He did everything you could ask of him.
Here's the thing, though, with James Harden, because everybody's asked, they were asking him, how's your relationship with Doc? And he just goes, okay. Well, see, James Harden is the epitome of even if he has beef with somebody, he's just gonna like he's not gonna say he has beef, but he's not gonna not say that he doesn't have beef.
Right.
He does the same shit with like Kyrie, and he gives you just enough to where you can formulate your own opinion on what he's really saying. And in this case was basically him saying, okay, meaning I'm not going to come right out and trash him, but I'm going to say that I don't like Doug Rivers.
Right.
So and honestly too, like I think James Harden, like behind the scenes, man, I don't know who he talks to or whatever, but he likes to talk. I mean, it's just how it goes. With that said, Harden needs to figure out what the hell he's going to do to get back to like being at an elite level. The days of trying to draw fouls and get to the free throw line are over. So you need to make an adjustment, and he has not done that in the past 2 years since the new foul call rules went into effect. He has not made adjustments to his game.
Nope.
He's still trying to get foul calls, and it's not happening.
In that Game 6 and Game 7, he flailed around all he could and couldn't get a foul call. He tried to flop his way to a foul and then gets called for a flagrant because he hits Jaylen Brown in the mouth and makes him bleed.
Well, and then too, he was he was always the let me shoot, but then bump into somebody and draw the foul kind of thing. Right. He can't do that anymore, so he's like really struggling now.
Exactly.
But honestly, though, I was thinking about it more. The Sixers are kind of strapped. They can't get rid of first round picks because of the Stepien rule. Yes, thank you. They can't get rid of the first round picks. However, if that's why I'm saying Maxey's like one of the only guys like who has anything that any team may find attractive on that team. So if you're and the only way you're gonna get rid of Tobias Harris, because if I'm looking at Tobias Harris is on an expiring contract. You don't think that the Wizards wouldn't love that?
It's true.
All right, so we got Tobias Harris on an expiring contract. The Sixers have at least second round draft picks they can give. So if we can move on now from Bradley Beal, who's due to make over $46 million over the next $46 million a season over the next 4 seasons.
Don't speak this into existence.
No, I'm doing it right now because I'm going to help you. I'm helping you right now. If we can figure out how to get Beal, and I'm not even kidding, like, they would be so desperate to get rid of Beal, take on that expiring contract with Tobias Harris, and get Maxey to where they can work out, like, kind of like rebuild their team around. Then if I were the Sixers, I would be like, how can we work something out for Bradley Beal? And while we're at it, how about a Monty Morris or a DeLon Wright or a Kispert or a Denny Advia or something to add, like, let's get some shooting going. And we need some rebounding too, which it was another issue. So that could be addressed in a separate trade. But Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal, to me, is a top 20 player.
When healthy, yeah, for sure.
When healthy.
For sure.
When the guy's healthy, he's a fantastic player. But the problem is he's not healthy.
Right.
However, I question his commitment because he's on the Wizards. Now, is he kind of trash for even doing that? Yeah. But it would be interesting to see how he would react if he was in an actual situation to where he had something to play for.
That is true. I mean, I did see a stat that said throughout the entire process, it still didn't amount to getting the team as far as John Wall and Bradley Beal got the Wizards when they were in their prime. Which is sad. But
I think they have a chance to get Harden back, but I think you might get him for one more year.
Right.
And if Harden goes, like, this is their window. I don't think the Sixers are going to be able to like regroup and restock fast enough to keep Joel Embiid entertained because he's getting up there. He's not old, but he's not the young guy.
He's 29 already.
He's almost 30, right?
Yeah.
So in order to keep him like satiated, the guy's got to eat. He wants his championship. You need to do something, and the only way that's going to make it like appealing is to try to add another superstar. And the only way they're going to add a superstar is if they get rid of Maxey.
That's my big worry is if James Harden leaves. Like, my worry is that they're really not going to be able to do much, and then like have to blow it up.
Well,
and I could see that being a plausible reality, which is scary to me, because after going through the fucking tanking days for so long, I just want them to see them make it past the second fucking round already.
Well, you're not going to do that with Tobias Harris.
No, for sure.
And
Muhammad says John Morant, but I'm pretty sure he meant to say Ja Morant.
We knew what he meant.
So,
honestly, I wouldn't want Ja Morant anywhere near my team.
I mean, that's true. We'll definitely talk about him.
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't.
We'll get to him. Danny C. What's going on, Danny? He says, will you guys sign my petition to bring back Bubblelicious's LeBron's Lightning Lemonade flavor? It's been discontinued since 2004. That was a great flavor. I'm not going to lie.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
It was a really good like lemonade bubble gum. You almost wanted to eat it because it was like that good. It was like a candy. That shit was good.
That's why
I would sign that petition, Danny. I would sign that.
That's why I like gum, because you just want to eat it.
True.
Like,
especially they used to make gum with some crazy ass flavors, like candy flavors, and I was like, they make you want to eat it, like the sour apple ones and stuff like that. Big League Chew. I would get the sour apple Big League Chew. Shit was amazing.
I've never had a cavity. So I'm working that. I don't, even if LeBron's Lightning Lemonade came back or whatever the fuck it's called, I'm not interested. But I would sign it.
I will sign your petition. I'm in. But anyway,
whoever that guy is,
good old Danny C.
Yeah.
But anyway,
kind of like my last name.
True. Maybe it's a long lost cousin.
Maybe.
The other thing that bothered me is James Harden's post-game press conference. Not only the Doc Rivers thing, but then they're like, well, what are you looking for in a team like to go to in the offseason? Because obviously there was rumors about Houston and all that. And he's like, I just want a chance to compete.
So Houston's not the place.
No. And also, so then what is the Sixers? Is that not a chance to compete?
He should just say, I want whichever city has the most strip clubs is where I want to
go. Seriously. But like at that moment, it's literally just like, so are you saying the Sixers? What?
I want to go to the strip club with him.
I feel like it would be a great time.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Imagine you'd probably get like a private room.
Yep.
He probably knows the bouncer. You probably get like the chicks. He would bring all those chicks in the back.
The finest wings.
The finest wing honey barbecue Cajun wings. The best wings money can buy. Fucking Poppin' Dom back there. It's probably, oh God, please.
No wonder his boys love him.
Yeah, now that's a posse I'd want to hang out with, not John Morant's group. What do they do? They drive around listening to shitty music. I want to go hang out with James Harden.
Agreed.
Popping bottles back there, dude. He's probably pouring what is it? Hennessy.
Yeah.
probably doing shots of Hennessy up chicks' asses and stuff back there.
He he partied so well that on that boat he had that birthday cake and just threw the birthday cake off the side of the boat.
Well, that's kind of irresponsible. Yeah,
But
I would have a big problem with that.
I mean, as long as there's a backup cake.
What kind of cake was it?
I have no idea. It was some huge layered cake.
Because if it was like whipped frosting, then yeah, throw that shit right overboard.
Ah, well then there you go. It probably was something like that.
But now I want to hang out with James Harden.
I know. But yeah, so
I mean, would you rather hang out with James Harden? Like if you were, I'm sorry, now I'm just gonna.
No, go ahead.
I got the strip club in my head now.
Go ahead.
Like if I were in Brooklyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, I would be like, don't leave me with, like, if he went to Philly, I'd be like, James, come on, can you just get me to go with you? Because don't leave me here with these losers. Kevin Durant's a weirdo. He doesn't. What does Kevin Durant do? He like sits home and plays. What does he watch movies? He doesn't do anything.
That's why Millsap came along. He was like, "Come on, James, let me go too."
Yeah, come on, man. Don't leave me here. And Kyrie's a fucking doink. So like, yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was dumb. The whole, I just want a chance to compete. Like, you were on a team that in the preseason was selected as one of the championship favorites. And then as the season went on, it went up and down here and there. But after they won Game 5, they were the betting favorite to win the championship. And you're telling me that Philly isn't a place to with a chance to compete? Like, because when that's all you say, when that's all you respond with, you're not really confirming that the place you're in right now is a chance to compete. And then the rumor comes out like, oh, he has a little bit of interest in Phoenix. Yeah, every fucking player has an interest in Phoenix.
He ain't going to Phoenix.
Exactly.
I honestly, I don't think him and KD are boys like that.
They might have become better friends after Kyrie.
No. You know who's going. I'm standing on that hill to say that Kyrie's going to Phoenix. There's nothing. Even if Kyrie signs with another team, I'm still staying on that hill saying that Kyrie's going to Phoenix.
I mean, the whole trade that you proposed about Ayton to Dallas and Kyrie to Phoenix only makes sense.
No, it's happening.
Like, that makes a lot of sense for both sides.
I mean, Dallas needs a big guy, right?
Exactly.
Because who are their big guys? Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell. Like, that's who Christian
JaVale
Wood.
McGee.
Like, that's garbage. So...
Yeah. And they already said they want to move on from Christian Wood.
Oh, he's gone. Hey, I think I bring Christian Wood to Philly.
Another guy they had beforehand.
Hey, you know what? You need some rebounding, bring Christian Wood in.
Shit. What's Nerlens Noel doing? Nothing.
Call up Noah Vonleh and get his ass off the couch.
Dwight Howard's over in Taiwan. I mean...
But, whatever he's doing over there. Those strip clubs are a different kind of strip club. Know what I mean?
Jennifer Dibble here says, who's that super handsome guy on the right?
Who's right? My right or?
All of our right. It would be you.
You're a good looking guy.
Yeah, but she's asking about the one on the right.
I know, but I'm big sexy, so that's... I mean...
It's a given.
I'm a good looking guy. We know that. Honey,
exactly.
Get in line. Get in line, honey. Yeah, now if fuck was I going to say? I'm all flustered now. I'm all thrown off. See what happens when women pay attention to me? I can't think.
Got cold feet now.
Yeah. Stage fright. No, Dwight's probably over there. Next thing you know, he's, over at the strip clubs. Next thing you know, it's... You know what I mean?
Of course. Next thing you know...
Actually, didn't somebody say he's into that kind of stuff, though? Wasn't there a rumor about that?
There was a whole scandal about it.
Yeah.
somewhat
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. But yeah,
Anywho.
so just to kind of wrap up this whole Sixers thing, I didn't like really rant as long of one segment that I like really had on my head the moment they lost. But my main things are the Joel Embiid really did change a lot in my head and how I perceive him after this series. He went from a guy that I was like, all right, he's just hit some bad luck with some injuries, but he really has a fire lit under him and really wants to win a title, to, all right, I don't know if he's ever going to do every single thing necessary to win a title, and all he's been doing is putting up excuses. And James Harden is another historic loser that puts up a bunch of excuses, especially when Harden last postseason says, oh, the ball didn't find me at the end of the game. The same thing with Embiid, like, oh, I didn't get the ball in the last few minutes, and that's why we lost. You are two of the best players in the fucking league. Go get the ball.
I'm so depressed right now talking about these guys. I want to kill myself.
What do you think it's like being a fan of them?
Well, yeah, I got depressed when I started talking about Bradley Beal going to Philly.
That depressed me too. If we're at the point that I have to think about Bradley Beal coming to save the Sixers,
that's bad.
I'd rather blow it up.
You're gonna shit your pants though if that really happens.
That would honestly be.
If that happens, I want credit as the first guy to fucking say it.
Oh, I would definitely give you credit for that.
No, I mean anywhere. I don't want Woj. I don't want Shams. Right here.
We'll make a clip of this. We'll put it out early.
I'll call another one. I mean, was anybody talking about the Cleveland trade with Donovan Mitchell? You'd see one fucking person talking about it.
That's true. That's a good question. And we did put it out there that you called that.
I know my injuries. I know my personnel.
True.
I know a lot about and winning.
I could see them trying to trade Tobias to somebody that is like the Spurs as well, and getting just like a bunch of kind of like ragtag guys. Yeah, honestly, I could see that. I could see like McDermott,
Devontae
or even
Graham.
Roby and Devontae Graham. Like,
let them try to just work to get Bradley Beal first.
But no, I'm just saying I can see that end up being what happens, and then they try and trade Maxey and whatever for another person, but it's gonna be someone that just like, I guess along the lines of Bradley Beal, or they'll try to go for, let me think, somebody along the lines of like DeMar DeRozan, who's just aging. He's right there. He's good.
Hey, that expiring contract to Tobias is worth a lot more than people realize.
I could see the Bulls wanting to blow it up soon.
DeMar DeRozan's already on, his name has been floating around. So I think the Bulls are in a rebuilding point. Lonzo's might not ever play again.
Right.
DeRozan's about 46 years old at this point. And so imagine if you could get like Alex Caruso and DeRozan.
DeRozan only has 1 year left on his deal too.
Again, though, that contract too, like, is very valuable. These expiring contracts are pretty valuable.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to like either rebuilding teams or teams that are looking to like just make a short burst at a title.
Right. And somehow DeMar DeRozan, let's see. So next year DeMar DeRozan is set to make $28.6 million. What is Tobias set to make?
He's like $36 million.
Good, $39 million.
Okay, but you can orchestrate ways to make this work.
I hate this so much. Oh, I just hate being a Sixers fan.
Hey, how about bringing DeRozan in, bring Kyle Lowry in? I mean, you get your Philly boy, you get the band, yeah. You want to know something? I don't even hate it.
I don't hate it either. At this rate, I'm like, you know what? Give me whatever could possibly work because I'm fucking tired of losing in the second round. I'm just fucking tired of it.
What if the Sixers could figure out a way to get Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan?
Do it. I'm ready.
I don't know how that would work out. I don't even think it can work out, but it's still a nice thought.
I'm down with it. Whatever it takes.
Because I don't think the Bulls even have you hear that they want to build around LaVine, but I don't really think they want to build around LaVine.
I don't think so either. Plus, if you're really building around LaVine, you don't have much time. He's already 28. So, what are you building around him with if you don't have anything yet? But anyway, I'm done talking about these fucking losers. They're losers and I hate them. And I just wish I just want to get out of the second round I haven't seen in a conference finals. Not even the finals, a conference finals. Since I was 7. Bullshit. Anyway, moving on. We'll go to the conference finals matchups. We got Miami versus Boston after.
That's the last time Mike saw his penises when he was 7.
Oh, God. Mike and I have both been depressed since we were 7.
Well, I'm sure you could see your penis.
Well, yeah. Not for the same reasons. Yeah, so Jayson Tatum, now has...
I'm sure you're doing all right in that department, though. You got a beautiful wife, so you must be,
So it has to be...
It's adequate, yeah. It's probably not the greatest, but it's, it gets the job done.
Exactly.
As long as she's happy, who cares?
It can't be the biggest, because then it would hurt too much, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be perfect size.
I heard women don't really like that big anyways. Like, it would be nice. Like, every guy wants to be Mandingo, but at the end of the day, I don't think women are, like, really into that.
That's what I've heard.
Right.
So, I agree.
When you look at Mandingo, man, this guy's like, that's straight up like assault. That's like a baseball bat. There's no way a girl could be enjoying that.
There isn't. Like, there literally is no way. I can't see that being anywhere close to enjoyable.
No.
For those of you watching live right now, if you're wondering, the lottery is, I believe it's starting right now. So,
I thought you were going to say, for those of you who are wondering who Mandingo is.
Oh, no. Definitely not. If they want to, you can go Google it.
Just not at school, kids.
Exactly. Not at school and not at work.
Not on a work computer. Nothing. Not in a library. None of that stuff.
None of that. Not in front of your parents. Don't do it.
Well, maybe your mom might like it, but... yeah, well, I don't know. Some these days, who knows? Maybe dad will like it too. I don't fucking know.
That's true.
Right.
But yeah, so Miami versus Boston. Jayson Tatum now has the most points in a Game 7 in NBA playoff history.
Woohoo! Makes up for his 6 games of playing like dog shit.
Yep.
I'll tell you, Boston should have had that put away in 6 games. 5 games.
Probably 5, yeah. Especially, yeah.
And they couldn't even win Game 1, and they didn't even have Embiid.
I know. And that's one of the statements I read that, like, I agree the most with is James Harden had so many bad games in that series that it made me forget and appreciate the fact that he had 2 games where he had over 40 points. And, like, he won those games for the Sixers by scoring over 40 points.
Look at game 1. He was a fucking monster.
Exactly. That was probably one of the best games of his whole career, playoff-wise.
There was a lot of strippers after that game, I tell you that.
It's probably why game 2 he came out a little flat. Too many strippers.
Well, they sucked the life out of him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I have to, by the way, for the draft lottery, I have to cheer for Utah.
Watanabe? What does he have to do?
No, the good old Mormons.
Yeah, but I hate the draft lottery because they're like, okay, it's like, can we just go to it, draw the balls, and get on with it? We got to turn it into this whole production. We got to interview, Brandon Roy. It's like, it's nice to see you, Brandon, but
right.
Too bad your knees suck, because he would have been, you would have a much better career. But can we just find out who's number 1?
I agree. Yeah. I have to cheer for Utah because that's who, in our 30-team league, that's my odds of getting our fantasy number 1 pick.
I don't have a pick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I only have a 4% chance.
Hey, I made it to the last 4 in that league.
You did. You had a great season. That's very true. Ime Udoka is there for the Rockets.
There you go. There you go.
Gets the job and is already at the lottery.
Are you watching it right now?
I have it on a different tab on YouTube TV. I don't think I'm allowed to stream it, or else we might get banned for that. So
they ain't gonna ban us. Do they? You know who we are?
They should. But anyway, Miami versus Boston for the Eastern Conference Finals. Who do you have winning? What do you think is going to happen? What you got?
I'm going to say it again. Miami's not that good.
It's true.
I mean, I've been saying it for weeks. Miami's not that good. They're playing team. There's a reason why they're playing team. Boston, Boston will win this one 4-2.
Okay. 4-2. So,
and if Spoelstra were the coach of, well, for one, it's going to come down to Robert Williams. Robert Williams is a fantastic player. If he could stay healthy, he would be a top center in the league. He would be a defensive player of the year. It's just they know at this point, you're only going to get about 20 minutes out of him. Mm-hmm. And you can't put much more on that because he's not a guy who can stay healthy. But that 20 minutes he's out there, I mean, you saw what happened in 6 and 7 when Missoula put him into the starting lineup, and what a difference maker that was. Not a knock on Al Horford, man, but I mean, he ain't no Robert Williams.
That's true. I mean,
and Bam ain't man enough because I'm not a huge Bam guy,
right?
And I don't think Bam's gonna really know how to conduct himself, to be honest with you.
That's the thing for me too, is if you just have Robert Williams chasing around Bam, even if he's outside the paint, whatever, I mean, that he's gonna play pretty damn good defense on him. I mean, we've seen Bam get shut down by a few different centers. So the other thing to me is too, Al Horford shot terribly against the Sixers.
It's Al Horford.
But he usually is decent shooting the 3. He's that outlet guy that can still hit a 3, hit some big shots for you, but also still be the leader.
What game he scored 0 points?
I think that was game 6.
No, I think it was 5, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think he went 0 for 8 or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's Al Horford. He could get away with that. But he's still one of the most important guys on the team. And remember, when he went to OKC, everybody thought his career was over.
Mm-hmm.
and they had just let him. They pretty much just paid him just to go away. And the
Yep.
guy's making $1 million to sit on his couch and not $1 million, millions of dollars
He was
to
making
just sit
20
there.
some million.
To sit there.
Yeah, because that's when the Sixers signed him and they traded him to OKC for like Danny Green.
Boy, I bet you they wish they had Al Horford back now.
Well, when he was on the Sixers, he was god fucking awful. And then he goes to OKC, doesn't do anything, then goes to Boston, and all of a sudden he's good again. But again, Doc Rivers doesn't know how to use his fucking personnel because he doesn't run an offense past a pick and roll.
Get ready for 8 seconds. You think Joel Embiid's tired now? You wait till Daddy D'Antoni gets in there.
Oh God!
You think Joel Embiid's hurt now?
I'd rather hire JJ Redick.
He better hit that treadmill because D'Antoni's going to be running his ass all over the place.
I'd rather hire JJ fucking Redick than.
Can you picture Embiid just chugging around the court in that offense?
No.
Just dying because they're just moving so fast. Yeah, the 76ers are going to put up about 163 points per game next year, but and then all of the starters are going to play at least each one of them will play at least 38 minutes a game.
Oh, of course.
And one guy a game will get to come off the bench.
Oh my God, I can't. I just can't. I have Boston winning this series in 5.
All right. Yeah, Miami's not that good.
No. And I think Boston will do a fine job with not shutting Butler down, but containing him.
And too, like, I'm going to go off on a little thing. The Knicks would have ate them for fucking breakfast. But in everybody's dogged Julius Randle, did they not realize this dude was hurt? Like, toward the end of the regular season, he had that ankle injury, rushed back, got hurt again. Brunson was hurt. He had an ankle injury. He dealt with a hand injury. Quickly got hurt. The Knicks were... And the Knicks were pretty durable. Like, Julius Randle's a pretty durable player. I just don't like people... Yeah. He's played at least 70 games, I think, in the last 3 seasons. I don't like people dogging on Julius Randle. Because
I know Knicks fans are going crazy to get rid of him right now.
Knicks fans don't know any better, so you gotta forgive them. I mean, would you rather... I would rather, any day of the week, have Julius Randle than Bam Adebayo. If you think about, like, comparable guys, like, I would rather have Randle over Porzingis. I would rather have Randle over Lowry Markkanen. I would rather have... Like, there's so many other players I'd rather... Because I think Randle's just so much a better player than those guys are.
The only one I've thought about is Markkanen there. The other two I agree
with.
Well,
I mean,
Markkanen,
come on,
I really like.
Markkanen had one good fucking season. Let's not get on the Markkanen band.
You're right. Alec Walt, our guy, says go Celtics.
Oh,
and he says the Heat will annoy them.
Hi, Alec. You don't hear nothing, and then all of a sudden the Celtics are in, and Alec's in here like waving his dick around all over the place.
I mean, to be fair, I'd probably do the same thing if the Sixers won. So
he's doing helicopters with his cock.
By the way, they haven't revealed the order of the top 4, but the top 4 teams are the Blazers, the Rockets, the Hornets, and the Spurs.
Oh my God.
The Jazz unfortunately got 9th, so that's why I picked for our league.
If the Blazers, the Dame's future in Portland may be resting on whether they get,
if they get the number 1 pick, that's insane.
But honestly, if they wind up with Scoot,
that's true too.
I mean, that's game on right there because Scoot has been playing. I mean, he's NBA ready right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing with all those G League guys.
He's ready to come in and make an immediate impact right away.
Agreed. He's a pretty big dude too. Like, I think he can definitely hold his own. Oh, here we go. The 4th pick. in the NBA draft is Houston.
Oh, no.
Oh, that really sucks for Houston.
Hey.
That is bad. Portland gets number 3.
Oh, no. So now we're down to the Spurs and the fucking... Don't go to the Hornets.
Spurs get the number 1 pick.
Oh, my God.
Their managing partner was the guy there for the pick. He just went nuts.
He probably pulled his pants down and fucking started doing helicopters himself.
I was going to say, he's definitely doing some helicopters. Popovich is at home right now doing helicopters.
But you want to know something? I think the Hornets, of course they would want Wembanyama, but I wouldn't be upset with Scoot. I think he'll fit in really well in Charlotte.
Honestly, Charlotte could trade Rozier because Rozier is older than their core. Trade Rozier for a better big. Although Mark Williams was showing some good stuff at the end of the year.
And PJ Washington's pretty good.
True.
And they got the Felon on the roster, so they could still do something with him. How about the Felon in Philly?
The Felon in Philly?
Yeah, how about Bridges going to Philly?
Oh. I thought you meant there was somebody already on Philly that was a felon. I was like, who are you
talking about? Well, maybe. I don't know. Well, they do have Markel, or they have Montrezl Harrell. He was almost a felon.
That's true. Wow, they sent Windhorst all the way to Paris to sit with Wembanyama.
That motherfucker probably gained about 20 pounds going over there.
He probably did. But yeah, so
they don't want to take their NBA Finals coverage on the road, but they have no problem sending Windhorst to France to interview Wembanyama. We got to come up with a different name for him.
Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
I mean, everyone calls him Wemby, but that just sounds weird to say.
It sounds stupid. I just don't want to call... I can't say his last name.
I'm just saying Victor from now on.
Right, Victor. You want to go to interview... Can you imagine, though, Windhorst over there just eating escargot and just... He's got, the napkin on his shirt and he's just fucking crushing food over there.
I could see it, to be honest. Anyway, let's finish up some of the last couple topics we have. So Nuggets versus Lakers for the Western Conference Final. What are your thoughts on that series?
Oh, Nuggets in 4.
4?
Okay, 5.
Okay.
But the Lakers aren't good either.
They aren't, but they keep winning.
Well, I mean,
they beat Grizzlies with, it is what it is there.
They beat Memphis. Okay, Memphis is Memphis.
They did beat Golden State, though.
But they beat 2 of the most dysfunctional teams in the Western Conference.
That's a good point.
But honestly, Golden State, they got to get rid of Jordan Poole because that tension still, apparently, if you read some of the shit, that tension still was going on throughout the season. I guess it'll all come down to whether Bob Myers comes back or not, but I don't see Jordan Poole. Hey, Jordan Poole to Philly.
That's something.
Jordan Poole to Brooklyn. Cat to Philly. I don't know.
Terry Rozier to Philly.
Felon. The Felon to Philly.
Terry Rozier and him to Philly.
Something.
But if they get Scoot, they're not going to want Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey and that expiring contract is going to be their path to get out of the rut.
True. That's very true. I have the Nuggets winning in, I'm going to say 6. I'm going to give the Lakers a couple games just because they have a couple guys that catch fire. I'm very excited to see Anthony Davis versus Jokic, though. I think that's a cool matchup. Especially because Anthony Davis, even though he's been a little inconsistent this postseason, he's had some pretty damn good games.
Yeah, hey, defensively, though, he's been pretty fucking good. So
exactly. That's why I want to see him. Because
it's going to be a great defensive guy versus a great offensive guy. Because, you know, Jokic can't play defense, but he doesn't.
And it's because, like, who has Jokic played defensively? Like, Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, which are okay.
You had to get your Gobert dig in.
I always.
But now, too, for some reason, they love Gobert. Even though he, you know, pretty much ended their season by going after Kyle Anderson, which in turn forced McDaniels to go break his hand.
Yep.
And aren't you glad you gave up like 9 first-round draft picks for him?
Aren't you glad you ruined the entire future of your team for him?
Right.
But yeah, he went up against them and then went up against Ayton and Jock Lawndale. So Anthony Davis is going to be a much better matchup to watch against Jokic than any of the other people.
I don't understand why Biyombo wasn't playing.
That's also a good question. Like, why not try and throw Biyombo in there for like a few minutes at least?
Something.
Yeah. Because it's not like Jock Lawndale was doing much on offense. So it's not like you need Biyombo to be crazy on offense. But, yeah.
You don't need anybody to do anything. You got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
You know, Chris Paul. So Chris Paul is done. He's out.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving's going to Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton's going to Dallas. Now we got to figure out how Chris Paul's going to go to the Clippers. Because it seems like that's something that's... But I don't know how that'll work.
Or maybe Milwaukee.
They don't have any money as it is, and
that's true.
Their goal right now is to keep Middleton for his 20 games a season.
That's true.
And, you know, Brook Lopez. So I don't see Milwaukee doing anything to upgrade the roster. What they need to do is tell Giannis to fucking put his kid down. Like, we know you want to be a dad, but you got, you know, you can hang out with your kid after he graduates high school. For now, we need you in the gym shooting.
For a second, when he said put his kid down, I was like, whoa.
Oh, no.
I was like, he doesn't need to kill his kid. Jeez.
You're just like the media guys with Joel. You're just taking my stuff out of context.
Oh, God. But our last topic.
Hookers.
So we touched on the coaching carousel. John Morant at it again with his gun.
What a turd. Can I say it now?
What?
What a turd.
Oh, yeah.
He is a turd. And I know I at least said it. I don't remember if you did or not, but I said you got to get rid of him.
Yeah, you did. At
this point, it's time to get rid of it. And we were talking about it, too. We said it's only a matter of time before and that I said, or we said that we hope this isn't the start of something stupid.
Right.
And this is exactly how this is going. And I have a feeling, there's a really, really, really bad feeling about this, that something is going to come out that nobody wants to hear about. And this is not going to be a good end to, and I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking, but you know pretty much what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put that out there, though. I'm going to pull a James Harden and let people speculate what I'm referring to. But I have a feeling this is not going in a favorable direction, and that there may be more things to come out that may be the most unfortunate end to any career that you can possibly even imagine.
Yep.
But he's also fucking dope.
like, John Morant is being an idiot himself, but also his friends are dumb. Like, if you're riding your friend's coattails, because obviously he's the one making all the money to, like, let his whole crew do whatever they want, why would you keep recording him when you know he has a gun on him?
Well, did you see when he went to... Well, for one, John Morant's stupid because he knew his friend was recording. Right. But his friend realized as soon as he went over to Morant, he pulled the camera back like really fast.
Yeah, as if he was like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
So they're both dumb. They both have the IQ of about 3 combined. But if that's the kind of guys that he's hanging out with, just rolling around, listening to music and flashing guns, they're not volunteering at a youth camp. I can tell you that right now. They're not up to, like, they're not helping old ladies cross the street. They're not in a soup kitchen. They're doing nothing but bad shit.
You mean you don't believe that he went to therapy for stress and anxiety and everything?
Well, he may have, but what does anxiety and depression have to do with the fact that you're a moron?
No idea.
And you're flashing a gun around. There's there's about 200 million people in this country, and about 100 million people have some form of anxiety or depression.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of the depression, anxiety excuse from people.
Oh, I agree, because they're just using it as a cop-out now.
There's guys biting people because they're so mentally fucking whacked out of their minds, and like, there are people really struggling mentally, like really bad shit, and they're spending the rest of their lives in mental institutions. Mm-hmm. Those people have a right to act like a buffoon because they don't know any better. This dude knows a lot better.
He should know a lot better.
But if I were the Grizzlies,
our boy Mario from Chile is here.
Yes.
He says, "Salute, fellas," and he says, "Let's go Denver." You a Nuggets fan? Do you just not like the Lakers, or are you actually a Nuggets fan?
What a cool guy he is. He's so cool.
Oh, he's the man.
He's really cool.
He's El Jefe over there.
You got these, we got that Papa John. I go, hey, what do you got for pizza down there? He say, we got that Papa John. And I go, no, I mean, really, what do you got for pizza? Hey, he likes Papa John. He's a cool guy. Like, I want to hang out with him.
I know, I agree.
Where is he down in Chile? Chile.
Chile, yeah.
Imagine the chicks that are down there. How's the strip clubs down there? So
we're asking for James Harden.
Right.
He says, "I'm a Nuggets fan. Gotta support my boy Jokic." Okay, all right.
But that's great and all, but how are the strip clubs?
What if he said there were no strip clubs in Chile?
I highly doubt that's the case.
Would you be heartbroken?
No, because there are strip clubs. There has to be strip clubs down there. The South American women are probably the sexiest women on the planet.
Well, waiting on his response. I don't know if he says, oh, wait. We got a response. It has to just... He says, the strip clubs are very freaky.
Oh, he's got to come on.
James Harden's coming to play in Chile.
I want to know what freaky means. You know what? Maybe it's better we don't go around this road.
Probably not.
He's like, the strippers come out, they get Papa John's. Imagine that. You go to a strip club and you get chicks feed you Papa John's.
I mean, I
wouldn't be mad at it.
I'm not going to complain about getting fed pizza. He says they give like a mafia type of vibe.
Hey.
It sounds both freaky and dangerous.
So they have spaghetti is what I was Imagine you're just fucking crushing spaghetti.
Instead of feeding you pizza, they feed you spaghetti.
Hey, like I said, I ain't mad at it. I don't know what it is though as I get older though with the spaghetti. I can't eat spaghetti like I used to. I eat spaghetti. I know I love spaghetti too, but I get so full.
Especially like chicken parm with a bunch of spaghetti.
Ugh, I know, but I think maybe I overindulge on spaghetti, but it's so good but it's one of those things you just eat it and your fucking stomach feels like it's going to explode.
Oh, I agree.
But
it definitely fills you up quick.
But everybody's now like, if I would have said that in like a room with like 10 people, there's going to be that one person go, well, I can't eat it because I have celiacs. It's like, no, you don't. Tell me I'm wrong. There's always that one person who's like, I have a gluten allergy. It's like, okay.
It's like, obviously we're not talking to you then.
Right. There's always that one person, and this is not a knock on you, but there's always that one person who's always like, it's either they got to tell you that they're vegan or they have some type of allergy. Well, I can't eat chocolate because I'm allergic. But good.
Exactly.
And that's my fucking problem, how? And since when, and I love all these schools too, they're like, no peanuts, kids. I grew up, every kid had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and nobody died. And now all of a sudden, nobody can eat peanuts?
I even had them too.
Are you allergic?
No.
But it's like, listen, I feel bad if you have a peanut allergy, but that's not my problem. Don't take it out on me. I want my peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Exactly. I agree. 100% agree. And Mario asks here, how been Big Sexy dealing with the process being processed, Doc out, and Embiid the first MVP to never reach a conference finals? I mean, Big Sexy is probably fine with it. I'm upset, but
took it a little rough. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm mad. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm mad. Although I will say, at the beginning of the season, I was the one saying that the Sixers are not gonna go far.
Hey, I was saying the same thing,
and you were trying to convince me. That the Sixers were going to play so well. You were like, oh, the Sixers are going to be good. Like, you're being too negative about it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, they disappoint me every year of my entire fucking life, and they're going to do it again this year. But then I allowed myself to have hope.
I don't appreciate you coming on here and making up these claims of things that I said that I've never said.
I'll go pull the film.
Hey, that's why the best Sixers team. I'm standing by it. Let's call Bellinelli back. Let's call Dario Saric back. Let's get that ball rolling again.
Let's get Ilyasova back.
That was the best Sixers team.
That was the most fun by far.
I like that team.
That team was fun. But you had me changing my mind and not being so negative. And then they win that game 5, and I have all this hope all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I'm like, we could actually beat Boston.
I'm working on gratitude and being more present in the moment. And I'm trying to combat negative thinking. So I'm just trying to stay out of as positive as possible.
Oh, so you're the one that went to the therapy session for Ja Morant.
Correct. Well, I mean, everybody was always saying I'm too grouchy. I'm just saying I hate to. I mean, I'm coming on here. I say I hate this, I hate that. And I'm trying to be a little bit more, Now that's all bullshit. I still hate everything.
I was about to say. Mario says here, I knew this was ending in a disaster as soon as those Harden reports in the middle of the season of thinking about Houston.
Harden. I love this guy. It's cool.
Harden gave 2 masterpieces and Embiid couldn't deliver because he's hurt. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Harden had 2 great games and the rest of them were terrible. And Game 7 was absolutely awful. But Embiid needed to be a lot better. He averaged 10 less points a game than the regular season. And his shooting percentages were awful. He shot 18% from 3. Or 28. It was either 18 or 28. I don't know. Both of them are terrible.
I like garlic bread with spaghetti, too.
Garlic bread is... Have you had Texas toast?
Come on.
That's some good shit.
Is the Pope Catholic?
Is he?
I don't know.
But no, it all sucked. And as I said, I had hope after Game 5. Game 6 was happening. My hope started dwindling after every quarter. Then the fourth quarter came and the Sixers took the lead. My hope was coming back. And then the moment Jayson Tatum took that 3 with Embiid in his face, I literally said he probably hit that shot. Goes in, and then I'm like, he's not going to miss his next shot now. Like, after that big of a shot with Embiid in your face, I was like, there's no way he misses that next shot. Makes the next 3.
My mother-in-law makes this stuff, too, where she puts, like, pork and meatballs and stuff, and that's good.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah, it's good. She's a good cook.
Deanna made meatballs for the first time, like, a month or so ago, and I don't know how she does it, but those things were fucking delicious.
Well, it's a last name.
True. It's those Italians.
Mm-hmm. She probably learned from John.
Exactly. Shout out John, though. He's officially retiring as a police sergeant. He spent 37 years on the force, taking his last ride in a month. Shout out John.
37 years?
Yep.
Oh, congrats, John. Thank you for your service. That's 37 years. Not good for you. Yeah. Thank you.
Crazy.
Stay safe in the last month. Use as many sick days as possible.
Yes. Completely agree.
Actually, I won't even go back to work.
Exactly.
Just use all your
only
sick
that
days.
Last ride.
John, listen. Use all your sick days.
Yes. But anyway, yeah. I say all that to say, Mario, I hated it. It all sucked. And what happened is it ended in another second round exit. And at least Doc Rivers is gone. Now I don't know what the fuck is going to happen the rest of the offseason. And now I got to wait to see if the team is going to blow up or not. So there we are.
I already told you how to fix it.
I don't want Bradley Beal.
Okay, well, have fun with Tobias Harris. What do you want from me?
I'd rather blow the team up. Just blow it all up.
Okay, well.
Just bring TJ McConnell back and some other guys that are fun. Make a team of TJ McConnell, Alex Caruso. Give me... Who's like a good, like a fun guy?
You want more white guys? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just those two. I need like a good like humorous fun. Give me Dwight Howard. just give me all the goofballs and
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, there we go.
I think if you put a bunch of white guys around Joel Embiid, it may work.
I'm willing to try.
I guarantee if you put 4 white guys around Joel Embiid, they're going to barely make a play-in game.
I'm willing to try. But anyway.
And the felon. Bring the felon in.
Sure, just for the hell of it.
The alleged felon. I don't even know if he still has a felony or not.
Alleged.
Right.
Do you have a Remember This Guy?
No.
Okay.
Next week we'll be back.
All right. Sounds good.
And also next week will be Big Sexy's off-season predictions.
Okay. I need to come up with my own segment again. Jeez. I don't have any segments. But
well, you know me. I gotta have all the attention has to be on me. So anything that's named after me, or I'm on board.
I mean, they're always usually good segments. So.
I try.
But unless you have anything else,
no.
I think that's it here for us. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us ramble and rant and vent about the stupid shit of the NBA for an hour and a half. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell below for notifications. Let you know when we go live. Subscribe, like, comment for the algorithm. That works, too. Thank you, everybody, for listening on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. We appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next week. See you, Mario. See you, Muhammad. See you, Jennifer. See you, Danny C. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next week. Peace.
Alec.